Hello everyone, I'm back, I'm alive. I am doing a get ready with me video today. We are doing pretty much all of my makeup routine. I will be starting off with concealer and foundation, and I'll tell you guys why as the video progresses, but I wanted to do a laid back kind of get ready with me, chat with you guys, talk about where I've been, kind of updates, personal updates, talk about shows, a little project that I'm going to be working on here very soon, and I can't wait to get that going. So I hope that you will enjoy it. I'm also doing mostly drugstore. There's a few little things here and there that are high-end, but most of it is drugstore, this whole face. Some of it is brand new that you will see when you go shopping at your local drugstore that just recently came out since the beginning of the year. And some things have been out for some time, and I just wanted to kind of share with you guys my thoughts and kind of use some of these things that I have been sort of collecting in a little bin on my little storage area for my makeup that I wanted to include in a video, but I haven't gotten around to doing it, and I will get into why and where. I was kind of like almost mixing where and why together. I will kind of fill you guys in on where I've been. So I hope you'll enjoy. Keep on watching if you want to see how I created this look, and let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start with this get ready with me. I wanted to just kind of let you know that I started off already with my concealer and foundation. My skin, you guys, is going through some stuff. It is very angry with me. It is breaking out. I do think that I've come to the point in my postpartum recovery. I am 9.5 months postpartum, and this is around the time that I started getting really bad breakouts when I was postpartum with my son, and I feel like I'm going down that same route, but I really can't do much because I am still nursing my daughter. So whenever she decides that she is done nursing and weans herself off, then I will be able to actually do the treatments that I'd like to do that are a little bit more harsh and not really quite the recommended route when you are pregnant and nursing. So bear with me. I did that first because if I didn't, I'd be here for 20 minutes working and pinpointing and concealing all these spots and all these marks. I have the Revlon, the Photo Ready Candid Foundation. That's what I use today, and I would say this is more of a medium. It's definitely not enough coverage for me right now. It is oil-free, and you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, how much I adore the concealer. So I have the concealer in the shade Fair, and I have talked about this in previous videos. I absolutely love this concealer, and it's what I'm using today. So I went and bought the foundation to see if the foundation is just as good. In the foundation, I have shade number 150, which is Creme Brulee, and I like the packaging. It has a pump. I'm sure you've seen this. I used both of these, and then I went in with a little bit of foundation and the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer mixed together and went over my spots, and I had lots of them, so that's why I did these two things ahead of time. Alright, so I'm going to work on my brows. I'm going to use the Revlon Color Stay Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. And this is also another part of my routine that takes forever, but it'll allow me to chat with you guys. So I have been absent on YouTube and also social media. I kind of went radio silence there. My daughter was really, really sick, and my daughter is 9.5 months old. And it got really bad. She had the typical symptoms of a cold, so like a cough, runny nose, stuffiness, but she also started wheezing, and the cough would lead into coughing fits where she would start throwing up, and she wasn't sleeping at night, so it was definitely rough. I went on that whole last week with probably maybe 4 hours tops of sleep a night because she kept crying and she was not comfortable and not happy. And can you blame her? I mean, nobody likes being sick. It makes you feel awful. So I would try to rock her to sleep, hold her as much as I could, and sleeping on my chest was sometimes the only way that I could get her to stop crying. So it was really hard for me to see her like that, and she was just in a bad place. She almost kind of looked lethargic, and then she had a low-grade fever. And I really thought I was going to end up in the emergency room with her. And on top of all of that, she cut her first tooth. So you can actually see it now, and it's so cute, but it's causing her a lot of discomfort, unfortunately. So all of that on top of each other is just, it's like a double whammy for a 9-month-old. So not fun. And so I just felt like I needed to take the time to be with her and help her through that. and do as much as I could to make her feel comfortable. So that is why I was absent, and then I started to feel like I was getting sick over the weekend, with her just coughing in my face and sneezing, throwing up on me. I was bound to get some sort of symptoms at some point of whatever she had. So I do have some congestion, but it's not too bad. I'm able to get through the day and still do what I need to do. But us moms, if you're a mom and you're watching, you know that we can't afford to get sick because we still have so many other responsibilities. And babies, kids, pets, husbands, significant others, home, all this stuff to take care of. And being sick is just not something that we can afford to have, messing up with our schedules and our day. So I have a few new things that I wanted to share with you guys in the video today and just kind of continue on giving you guys some updates. So I've already set my brows with some brow gel, and I want to put a little bit of some soft glow to my skin, and I have been using the E.L.F. Halo Glow Powder, and I found this one at Target. It comes in 3 different colors. I have it in the shade medium, which looks more of like a skin tone. The light almost looked really white, and then the dark one was more tan, so obviously that wouldn't work for my skin. So I picked up the medium that looks more of like a skin tone color, and this is actually really nice. I like the fact that they included a little twist mechanism to the sifter so you can actually close it and not have a mess on your hand. So what I like to do is just kind of dump it into the lid, almost like if you're working with loose powders or minerals, you kind of put the product in the lid and then you work from there. And this gives a beautiful, soft kind of sheen to the skin. It doesn't look shimmery, it doesn't look glowy to the point where you can tell it's something extreme. Like, it just makes your skin look really, really nice. And then for my brush, I've been using my Delium tools. This is the 941 tapered highlighting brush, and it's just very soft, very wispy. And I just take some of the product, tap off the excess, and it picks up a little bit of product, and then just kind of go through the forehead, the T-zone, here, all over, just lightly grazing the skin. And it gives a nice pretty glow. So if you are oily and you think, oh, you know, I want to have like more of a radiant finish on my skin or with my foundation, but I don't want to use anything super glowy and dewy, you might actually enjoy this product. And I think it's the brush also. Such a good brush. And for blush and bronzer, I'm just going to use what's in my Charlotte Tilbury, the Instant Look in a palette, just because it's what I have here in my bathroom as I'm getting ready. So the bronzer is a very much loved bronzer. I feel like at any moment I'm going to hit pan on it. And I use a couple different brushes. This one from Eco Tools Define is really nice. Or my E.L.F. Small, I was going to say Small Complexion. I don't even know where I'm going with that. The complexion brush from E.L.F. is also really good for bronzing. But I'm going to use this one. Okay, so back to like updates. I'm hoping to be back with filming videos just like I was beforehand. I also am going to be creating like a little vanity space for myself because I'm tired of standing to do my makeup. And I miss having a space to sit. If you've been watching a lot of my videos over the years, you know that I've always had like a studio, a nice little desk. And I don't have that. Ever since I started creating the nursery for my daughter, I gave up my studio space where I would film and do my makeup so that I can create a nursery that I wanted her to have. So I'm going to find a place to put a desk so that I can sit and do my makeup, get a nice little stool, prop up the camera on the tripod on top of the actual table itself, and then just feel a little bit more comfortable because I'm tired of standing. I'm tired of standing to do my makeup. Okay, so I kind of just went over all of my face with this bronzer, and then I'm going to go in with the actual, the blush that's in here. It's a really pretty color. It's very soft, very natural. It doesn't compete with anything else, and it's my go-to. If I was on travel and all I had was this little palette, I'd be happy, and I feel like I can do so much with it. And I've talked about this before. It is a little bit pricey, but it's a very, very pretty product to use. So the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to use today is the Maybelline Nudes of New York. I saw this and I thought, why not give it a go? I have not used actual drugstore palettes or eyeshadows in a while. I've been using just some other high-end. Some ColourPop is also drugstore. I guess you can get that at Ulta. But actual like drugstore brands like Maybelline, Revlon, L'Oreal, those kinds of brands, I have not used like pressed eyeshadows. So this is what the palette looks like. And it's your nudes, your typical colors. And I felt like this was something that I could see myself using more frequently than the other ones. They do have a few other palettes to choose from. And I'm not quite sure if they've improved the quality over the years. I would suspect so. So we are going to try this out. All right, so I'm going to start with the shade called Soloist. That one looks more of like a skin tone. If you are a little bit darker than me and you have this palette, the shade Artist, which is in the same row, is a little bit more yellow, more like a buttercream color, whereas Soloist is more of a light ivory shade. So that I'm going to use all over my lids, and I'm going to use a Morphe E30 brush to apply that all over my lids, just to make sure that my primer, which is the Fenty primer, is really well set. Alright, so I'm going to switch to a small brush. This is the Instapop, can't even see, Instapop crease brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to go in with the shade Pioneer, which is this one here. It looks really, really nice. It's kind of like a bronze, but it's a little bit more like a bronzy brown. It's a bit cooler than this one here, which is Believer. This one is more of your typical bronze. So I'm going to load up my brush and then work my way up. And that does have some pigment to it. Let's see. Ooh, and some major fallout. Oh, and I already did my concealer. Great. I may have to use my finger for this one. So let's just lay down some color first and then go from there. So anyways, I'm in the process of creating a vanity area so that I can just feel more comfortable sitting down and doing my makeup and filming, and I miss having that space, but I guess it's not the end of the world if I don't have it. Okay, so that color looks really nice. It does have quite a bit of pigment. So I'm going to take the brush from Delium Tools that I used for the Halo powder from E.L.F. since it's really soft and wispy, and I'm going to kind of keep doing one of these motions as I work with the color because it is going to have a lot of fallouts. So based on that, I would say use this color or these eyeshadows first, then do your actual foundation and concealer. So I'm going to do the other eye. So with all these new releases at the drugstore, have you guys found any new favorites? Share with me in the comments what you guys are loving so far from the drugstore. There's so many new things at my local Target that I could just be in those aisles looking for hours. And if I have my son with me, he's like, Mom, can we go? He's like, more makeup? Really? Like, do you not have enough? He sounds exactly like my husband. It's like, really? Okay, so what I did was I loaded my brush and then I tapped off the excess and went over the lid, and I have very minimal fallout this time around. So tapping off the brush is essential. But that color is really pretty, super bronzy, super like glowy, and just very metallic. Super pretty. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And then with a Morphe M441 brush, which is a crease brush, I'm going to work the edges of that color so that I don't have any like harsh lines, and then I'm going to add some color into the crease. Now you certainly could do this in just this for like a one shadow look. You guys know how much I adore that because it's quick and easy and it defines the eyes and it doesn't look like you didn't take time to get ready. Like one shadow looks is essential. Like I love one shadow looks. Alright, so for the crease, I think I'm going to go in with the shade called Creator, which is in the top row. It is a matte tan shade. It's this one here. And I'm going to switch to a Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush. I've had this brush for years. I got it in a set, I think back in 2015, 16. And I still have them and they still work just as great. And I just tapped off the brush and whoa, holy pigment. It's flying everywhere. Just be warned that these are very, very dusty. Whoa, that one actually had some payoff. So I'm going to kind of nestle this back and forth in my crease and just do windshield wiper motions, helping to buff out that bronze shade and also adding a little bit of dimension and some depth into this crease. And I love this brush for that purpose because it has a bit of a tapered point and it makes this step super, super easy. And it almost does the work for you. Like if you just go back and forth like this, it blends and adds color so beautifully. Look at that. It's just too easy. Too easy. And like you could just do these two colors and be done. Like I really am thoroughly impressed thus far with these eyeshadows. Now, I've only used them for the first time today, so I'll keep you guys posted the more I use it. Okay, so let's talk TV shows. This past Sunday, just watched the finale of a show called Power that comes on Stars. So if you have the Stars channel on your cable, or I think you can order it also and pay monthly through, I think, Amazon. On my Amazon Prime, I thought I saw the Stars on there that you can do. Anyways, so it's a very good show. I'm not happy about the fact that it ended. The way it ended, I kind of suspected a portion of it, but then that sort of plot twist where they just kind of literally end it and show the credits there, it was like, ugh, I didn't see that coming. If you've watched the show and you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it's a good show. It has to do with like the mob. There's this main character, his name is Jamie St. Patrick, and he grew up, you know, not being a law-abiding citizen, and he has like these, well, he has a nightclub that he wants to be a legitimate business owner and get out of the business of, you know, selling drugs and all that kind of stuff and the mob and whatnot. And he tries to, and then he also ventures into more political point, but that comes towards the, you know, in season 6, which is the final season that just ended this past Sunday. Okay, so this color is pretty. I'm just continuing to build up this shade, and it's really, really nice. So it doesn't end well for him. There's a lot of things. It's a lot of like graphic things. Not super gory when it comes to like, you know, certain parts of it. It is kind of heavy, not too much on the sexual content side, but it's there and it can be intense. So definitely not a show for younger eyes. So it's a really good show. I can't really go into it too much without giving away big parts of the show. It's got some moments where you're kind of like on the edge of your seat. You kind of are like, for me, I kind of waited for the next episode and I couldn't wait to see what happens next. And it was good. The storyline is good. The way they ended it, I didn't want it to end, but it's good. Like I said, I can't really go into too many details without giving it away for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. All right, so for the eyes, let's go for the lower lash line. I need a pencil brush to sort of add some of this same creator shade down here on the lower lash line. So I would definitely recommend Power. And it has to do with like I said, mob, law enforcement, people breaking the laws, people making others disappear permanently. All right, so I'm just gonna take my same brush and just kind of soften this out and kind of pull it a little lower. So the other show is called The Morning Show. It's on Apple TV, and it has Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell, and it's about anchoring the morning news. So it's called The Morning Show, and the anchors are Jennifer Aniston's character and Steve Carell's character. They've been doing the morning news for 15 years. Some complaints and allegations resurfaced about Steve Carell's character of inappropriate relations that he had with some of the other women that worked in that area. And it sort of takes a twist of showing how inappropriate it is, how that affects the workplace, everyone else, how that affects the woman, and what are the repercussions for him as a man in that situation, and what's going to happen with his career. Is he going to just completely be voted off and not be part of the morning show anymore? How much does Jennifer Aniston's character know about it, and how long she kind of turned and looked the other way kind of thing. So it's good. It's very good. Reese Witherspoon comes in and she's got this really heavy kind of country accent, and she's very real, very raw, and sometimes she puts her foot in her mouth way too soon. You have to see it in order to kind of understand her character, and for her it's like digging for the truth and finding out what is really going on here. Who knew are the really top important executives that run the network, how much did they know? And turns out that, you know, this wasn't the first time, and just kind of seeing how they've turned a blind eye because he makes the network a lot of money. And I'm talking about Steve Carell's character. He gets paid millions of dollars to do the show, and the audience loves them two together, him and Jennifer Aniston doing the morning news. So it's a good show. Very, very good. All right, so we need to do some inner corner highlight. I'm going to do Originator, which is a very light color here. It looks like this. And I'm going to put that into the inner corner. It's a really nice champagne shade. Really, really nice. Definitely very eye-opening. Let's do Self-Starter. Let's do something a bit cooler. So Self-Starter looks like this. You have these that are more warm right in here, but this one is much cooler than these two mattes here. So I'm going to use some of this to make this a little bit darker. And then I'm taking that same pencil brush that I used for the tan shade, and I'm going to soften that edge so it's not like a thick, harsh line. And then for a little bit of something different on the upper crease area, I'm going to take a very thin wispy brush. This is the Sigma Blending E36, and I'm going to take the shade called Protector, and I just dip my brush in there very lightly, and as you can see, there's a lot of kick up here, but this is a very mauve, kind of purpley tone, and it is matte, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to kind of go right over all of this and see how much I can add just something different. And I chose this wispy brush for a reason, so that it doesn't add too much, because I don't want this to be super purple. Yeah, I like that. It's a little something. You can't really put your finger on it and say, oh, that's purple, that's kind of mauve. Just adds a little extra something. And I really like this brush. The E36 is a nice one. Maybelline came out with these new eyeliner pencils, the Hyper Easy Brush Tip Eyeliner. It looks like this. It's like an octagon shape, so very geometric looking. And I got the Pitch Black. It says waterproof on it. They all say waterproof, so it has that very, very thin point. So I'm going to use this for my eyeliner. And then I'm going to use my CoverGirl Uncensored Exhibitionist Mascara that comes in a black tube. And that's going to complete this whole look. Is the CoverGirl, the True Blend Super Stunner Hyper Glow Highlighter. That's a mouthful. This is in the shade called Pearl Crush, and I want to say this is the lightest shade that I saw at Target. And I'm going to use my Morphe Y14 brush, and ooh, this is gorge. I love this, and I'm only picking up the tiniest little bit, and it just, oh gosh, just take a bath in this kind of stuff. I love highlight. Can you tell? Down my nose, down the bridge of my nose a little bit. Cupid's bow. Okay, so for lips, my current go-to combo and my go-to lip liner at the moment is the NYX, the Slide On, Glide On, the ones with a really long name, okay? Nude Suede Shoes is a good one. I love the mauve one. That's what I use pretty much daily. But I wanted to do something a little bit more nude. So this one, Nude Suede Shoes, is very, very pretty and very nude. And then I have a new lipstick from Revlon. I've had this for a few weeks now. When this first came out, I have the shade called Beaming Strawberry. Glossy in pink. I just kind of pat it. Alright, so that wraps up today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was longer than usual, but I definitely wanted to fill you guys in on some things, kind of chat with you guys for a little bit, and just be a little bit more laid back. I just enjoy doing these types of videos, and I enjoy the get ready with me style where it's just more just relaxed, and I don't feel like I have to kind of zip through every single step. Everything that I used for my face today will be listed down below in the description box, so if you are interested in any specific thing that I use throughout the video, it will be listed for you down below. And I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's video. Be on the lookout for new videos coming next week. Follow me on social media. I have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm there pretty regularly, and I'm going to start getting back into it, being that I was gone for a little over a week. So I hope to see you there. Have a fabulous weekend, you guys, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.